Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever and wherever you are. This is Coach Lee. We're working on speech anxiety in all its forms right now. I'm talking to Antonio. Antonio uh, used to stutter a lot from age 4, but at this point in time, he's really stopped that. He posted a stop stuttering story, but he still says that in rare occasions, he estimates 1%. He has a problem. So we're here to discuss that problem. So I'll ask him to describe the problem.
Okay, so I am gonna give you two specific situations that would give me trouble. And I need to know, in your opinion, what is that I should do. So for example, if I go to a TV debate where you have people debating a topic and those people are fluent and they speak very fast, I know I would have trouble there. Now, in the past, I had the understanding that in those situations where I can feel the trouble, one of the things that one person can do is to say, hey, I am dealing with a problem. I
No,
am
no, no, no.
applying my speech plan.
Never, never
Never.
do that again. Never do that again. Never. Go ahead. Keep going.
So, in your opinion, the solution would be to be there and apply the speech plan, find the mental strength. That's where my trouble comes. The mental strength when the fear is very, very high to apply my speech plan.
Look, it just takes practice. Look, number one, when you're in a group of people who talk fast, never imitate them. When you speak your way, and your way is better than their way. When you speak in short increments and pronounce your words and think about the message and how you can say it with more conviction, you will be the best speaker in that group every single time. Don't imitate bad speech. That's what they're doing. You're not. You're a good speaker, and you're going to set an example. And eventually, people will tell you, Antonio, you speak so well.
Mm-hmm.
They will tell you that. But speaking slowly, long stops, pronouncing your words, and saying things like you really mean it, that's what makes good speech. Not imitating people who talk fast. That's not good speech.
And that practice you are talking about, are you talking practicing before that situation?
Not necessarily. You can. You can. I think reading aloud is a wonderful hobby. If you have, um, I don't think you do. Um, if you had children, young children, you'd read aloud to them. If you had a partner, you guys might take turns reading things to each other. It's fun. And who can be the most compelling and read things that are interesting and fun. And there are a lot of things like that. But You need to seek out problem situations and get in there and talk a little bit. And the next time, talk a little bit more. And the next time, a little bit more. And after a while, there'll be no limits on how much you talk under pressure. It just takes, it's like anything else in life, Antonio. You practice makes, maybe not perfect, but it makes you really good. It makes you.
So, if we are talking about TV debates here, that would mean doing a lot of them. And on the first one, speak a bit. On the second one, speak more, and so on, right?
Yes, I think when you're under pressure, the first thing you want to think is the word less. You don't say when you're under pressure, significant pressure, you don't say what you don't need to say. You say what you need to say, but you don't expatiate and go on and on. You just say what you need to say and be quiet. So that's the first rule under heavy pressure. And the more times you're under pressure, the less you need to think about less. Every time you talk a little more until this word's not even there. Now, so that's the first word. And if the pressure is extreme, then the next thing you want to think is short increments. If you will speak in short increments of words and use long stops, it will be so much easier. And no one will think anything about the way you speak. It won't. As I speak right now, I can speak in any debate, in any speech, anywhere, anytime. So short, you keep it short. That's the second thing you think. Now I'm talking about extreme pressure that you feel. And the third thing I would think is link. Why? Because anytime you link your words, it's impossible to stutter. Your only risk is the first word. We have solutions for first words. So, talk less, short increments only, link your words. You're home free. As gravy, try to teach yourself to think about your message. And specifically, how can you say it like you mean it? Move your head, move your hands, move your body. You're not a robot. You don't want to be boring. Oh, I can't say anything. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to talk about. What's that? You're a human being. And if you make some mistakes, I make some mistakes. So what? No one notices. If they did, they don't care. And if they care, they won't remember. I'm the only one who worries about my speech, and you're the only person who worries about yours. I don't care what anybody else thinks. You know why? When I'm my best, my speech is good enough to talk anywhere to anybody. I may make mistakes. I don't care. Most of the time, it's good. I don't have to follow these rules or any rules. I naturally speak slowly under pressure. I use longer stops, and I'm more over the top in my facial expressions and body movements.
I am going to tell you what my mistake has been. When anxiety is extreme, even though in my head I know I have to do short, long stop, link, and so on. What I wasn't doing was the less bit, because in a way I am pretending there is no problem. I want to pretend I am fine, and I don't talk less. I try to say more. And when anxiety is extreme, that is what I was doing wrong. I need to talk less until that anxiety goes down. And thank you, because I needed a plan to face those extreme anxiety situations. I'm fine everywhere else, but I am not when I am under extreme pressure.
Under extreme pressure, now, if you do these, if you think these things, and I would keep them in front of me if I could when I'm there, if you do that, you're going to be every extreme situation, you're going to do better. And every time you do better, you're going to be more relaxed. You're going to come to realize that not only aren't you the worst speaker in the group, you're the best speaker in the group. You're going to finally realize that that's true, that the crazy old fool in Bermuda was right. When you do this and succeed once, twice, three times, the more times you succeed, even if you, when you talk less, maybe you talk only 5% of what you would like to have said, but you knock the ball out of the park,
Yeah.
and you'll know it. Look, of course, stutterers are terribly, they grade themselves terribly. Your speech in its worst situation is not nearly as bad as you think it is. Other people don't view it the way you do, because they're not trying to be perfect. They don't think you should be, and it's different. So stutterers are terrible judges of their own speech, and you got to relax. Unless you totally wipe out and humiliate yourself, you can't say anything. That's embarrassing. That's not going to happen. Not if you do less. Not if you do short increments. Not if you link. You can talk anywhere. You can always say what you need to say. There is no situation right now on this planet that you can't succeed and say what you need to say in short increments, link your words, and be expressive. Put a smile on your face. It won't kill you. It'll actually help you. A smile is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
If you start out smiling, you say, hey, no matter what I do today, I'm going to smile the entire time I talk. That's it. I'm going to do it. And that will relax you so much. And
Yes.
it'll relax everybody else. Oh, this guy's
Now,
good.
I am gonna play devil's advocate. The less the talk less, right? Advice. There are people out there trying to advise on the stuttering issue who say that talking less is avoidance. And avoidance is something we shouldn't do. They say we should have the dignity to
You know
express
something,
ourselves.
I don't care what they say. There's no other organization on this planet of ex-stutterers. We've got the only one. And that's
Mm,
because we follow the principles in my books.
mm.
Look, I'm good at one thing. I can explain what I know how to do, whether it's baseball or stuttering or writing or speaking. I can explain what I can do. Most people can't. I can. That's my skill set. But in any event, nobody else who says these people say avoidance, they don't have hundreds of followers. They haven't posted hundreds of success stories online, videos and texts. We got hundreds of them. I've only been doing this for 10 years. I mean, in a formal way. And I only started WSSA about 5 years ago. So we just got started. We're blowing the ball out of the park over and over and over and over again. Don't worry about what anybody else does.
Mm,
Worry about what you do.
yes.
You want to sound like them, or would you rather sound like me or Prathusha or Clifton? I'll put our people up against anybody they've got. We'll destroy them.
Mm. You said at the beginning of our conversation today that you didn't know how you were going to help me. Well, let me tell you, you have helped me.
Okay.
Mm,
Good.
because that advice is exactly what I needed. I had this feeling that in extreme pressure situations, I need to talk. But that is not the case. I need to talk, yes, but I need to talk less. And that is the key advice I take from you, Lee. So you have helped me. You thought you were not going to help me, but you have.
Okay, good. Good. And you know, when you talk less, if you will speak in short increments of words, it will be so much easier than when you speak in long continuum to never take a breath and you keep talking and you keep talking and you keep increasing your risk. The longer you talk, the greater your risk is of having a problem. I never talk like that. It's even if I never stuttered, it's a terrible way. People eat out of your hand when you speak slowly with long stops and say it like you mean it, Antonio. Be an actor. You're a conveyor of a message, not words. Don't think words. Think thoughts, messages. It's fun. The whole thing is fun. I added smile. It should probably be first on the list.
And I would also add, don't care about what other people think about me.
Exactly. Look,
Probably I could recite that affirmation before those situations. The only opinion of me that matters is my opinion of myself.
exactly. Exactly. And you know something? As long as you do your best at whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is. I mean, if you're being a brain surgeon or a street sweeper, or you're mowing the lawn, or you're cooking a stew, or you're walking your dog, or you're playing tennis, whatever it is you're doing, do your best. If you will do your best, you will be okay. In time, you will be happy with what you've done. If you keep doing your best, you will achieve your reasonable goals. We're all this much different. Really, we're all this much different. And when we apply our best and keep it up over time, we lengthen the distance between us and the pack. Why is that? Because most people don't do their best. They just don't. When you do your best at everything, including your speech, include your speech, of course, you're going to get better and better and better at everything you do. And you're going to think, hey, I'm okay. You're fine. You're fine now. You're just going to get better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there any other piece of advice you think you can give me, or you
Not
think
really.
that
I would
work?
just, the main thing is view speech as a ladder. And the very top of the ladder is talking in the most extreme situation you can think of. Millions of people, cameras, whatever is the worst thing you can think of. That's the top of the ladder. And then think where you are comfortable now, talking to yourself, talking to one person, to three people, whatever it is. Think of it as a ladder. You want to just gradually keep going up the ladder. You can go all the way to the top. Believe me. Believe me.
Absolutely.
And you know what? It's fun. I love to speak. I really do. I don't say that unless I mean it. And I really do love to speak. It's so much fun. And the more you do it, the more you're going to love it. You're going to say, hey, I don't know why I ever thought this was a problem. You get up to the middle of that ladder and the top half of the ladder, you're going to wonder why you ever thought you ever had a problem. Because there's no reason for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is clear to me that I am in a stage um, of my speech journey where, as you say, I need to climb the ladder slowly but surely. If you talk to Danny, who I spoke to when I joined the program back in October, he will be able to tell you the progress that I have made, right? And that is because I have been facing those situations. So I knew the answer all the way. I just need to be challenging myself
Exactly.
to climb the fluency ladder.
Exactly. Look, all of life, it's not the biggest mistake that we make is we think it's us versus the world. I gotta be better at this guy at this and that guy at that and somebody else at this. No, you don't. You don't have to be better than any specific person. You need to be the best you can be. And when you do that, I don't care what area you do it in, you want to do it in as many areas as you can. But the more areas you do it, when you're the best you can be, you'll always get, or whatever your reasonable goals are, you'll get there. One way or another, maybe not exactly, but you'll more or less, more or a little less, you'll get there.
Yeah.
Every goal you have. For
I
this
read a
one reason,
sentence.
you do your best, and over time, you will succeed.
I read a sentence somewhere that said, "Don't." always believe what you think. And that has been my mistake all my life. I believed I couldn't speak.
Now you know you can.
That
You
now
know
I
you
know I
can.
can.
Look,
And whatever problem I have is me believing what I'm thinking. So I have to stop doing that.
and for the moment,
Yes.
you follow some rules. Fine. Until when?
And
Until you
those
don't need them. Until you don't need them.
okay, and that card that you just showed me, is that something that you recommend me doing a lot, even when I am not feeling pressure?
I think it would be good if you did this. If you did this for a month, you would look, you have a habit of thinking about your speech and worrying about it, especially in certain situations. That's your habit. When you think about this, you gradually train yourself to think something else. This is what you think instead of the habit. I want to replace the stutter habit thoughts, which end up being fearful. We replace those thoughts with these thoughts, and they end up being loving to speak. Oh, I'm going to get to speak. Yay! Yay! That's the attitude you want, and you can have it. But you gotta, you gotta follow the script until it's second nature. You're
Yes.
replacing a habit. It's kind of fluency is a language. So is stuttering. Really being a good speaker is kind of a little different language. And you want to do that too. Actually,
Yes.
you want to go for the good stuff, and fluency will be, oh, that was easy. I went from stuttering to average speech to better speech in one movement. How did I end up here when I was here? I don't understand that. I just skipped the
Mm. Lee, you have given me exactly the advice I needed.
good. I'm very grateful. All I want to do is help you, and I hate stuttering, and I think it's unnecessary for you and for really for 99% of the stutterers I've ever known. And I want to get rid of as much of it as I can or help people. I don't get rid of it. You get rid of it. But I want to help as many people as I can get rid of it. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm glad that this has helped today. I really didn't know. I looked at your summary and I thought, I don't need to talk to this guy. This guy doesn't need me. He doesn't need me. I got people who need me. You're not one of them. But I can see where, you know, focusing on this can definitely help, can take you past the here, down the over here. We want to be in the love to speak club. And don't settle for anything less. And you welcome them. Bring the debate on. Give me the mic.
Yes.
You'll enjoy it. You're going
Yes.
to have a good time. Because every time you do it, you get a chance to practice these things more. And the more you practice them, the better you get. And in the
You
end,
are an open you are an open book. I love listening to you.
well, I sometimes get impatient with myself and I get impatient with stuttering and I want everybody to get better faster than they do. So sometimes I push a little too hard, but I'm trying, I'm doing the best I can. And and you are too, and you're gonna make it. You're gonna do it. But I'm not gonna do it. You're gonna do it. I've taken care of my speech problem. You are the only guy who's going to take care of yours. But you know how now. You know how. You just got to keep
Absolutely.
climbing the ladder until you're at the top of the ladder, and then you then get off, and you'll be up there, and don't look back down. Don't forget about it. If you can help somebody else, great.
Very good, Lee.
I'm
Thank
going to let
you
you
very
go
much.
because I got another
Sure.
call with somebody who really needs me.
Okay, I thank you very much for your time, and yes, you have helped me a lot, Lee.
All I would ask you in parting is, and I would say to you, the more you come to SAM meetings, it's good for you, it's good for other people. Practice sessions will help. Um, I hope that you've posted positive reviews on my books. And if you haven't, I hope
As
you'll go do it because every review brings somebody else like you to be helped.
Lee, probably you haven't recognized me, but I am a very active member of the organization.
I love
I
it. I love it.
Yeah, I even host practice sessions.
I love that. I love that. I can't look at that because I got to talk to people like you. I can't be looking at the practice. It's short, you know. So you
All
you
right.
have a great day, and I'll
You
see
too.
you probably on Saturday.
On Saturday. Thank you very much, Lee.
My
Have
pleasure,
a nice
man.
day.